What's going on, you guys? Jay here and welcome back to the channel. So we're taking a look at the recent proposal, which was freeze the LFG assets being 1.86 billion USTC. And with the recent developments surrounding USTC being delisted from Binance, we're in a bit of a strange situation where we either let go of USTC entirely, it becomes completely valueless. We see a major collapse of the overall system being USTC, and the overall blockchain itself being Terra Classic actually goes into shock. We could see a halt, we could see something crazy happen, and what we haven't seen is any forward movement from the blockchain. When it comes down to USTC, it's a constant push and pull, and there's many different people who are acting very covertly. I was very positive when the freezing of the LFG assets came up. Although the proposal itself was very rushed, it had changed from person to person, which didn't help the case. And yeah, we're now in a situation where we've seen the exact same thing play out, like we saw with the initial Signal proposal to attempt to burn the LFG funds. And what we're trying to do is push the chain in a positive direction, because as I've explained many times, sitting still simply isn't good enough. It's not doing anything, and it's leading us down a very dark path. And now we're hitting this choke point, this crossroads, however you want to really visualize this thing. USTC is in serious trouble. It's going to be delisted from Binance, and we have no way to actually comply with MiCA regulations, let alone the Genius Stablecoin Act, which should be rolling out in the United States. So we do really need to think very carefully about our next moves. And I'm going to be discussing a proposal that's being worked on by a group of people in the Terra Classic community in another video. So do keep an eye out for that one in the future, you guys. And if you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe, hit the notifications bell to keep up to date with all of our content. So if we go to the rejected section on LUNCDash, we can see the freezing has been rejected, and then the final signaling proposal to burn those assets was also rejected. The interesting thing is there was more support actually on, although it was a very small amount more, on the initial proposal to burn those assets. And if we had played cloak and daggers, if we had been devious, if we had been very shady, and we put in our vote at the last minute, that proposal would have in fact passed. And this would then be a situation where we wouldn't be stagnant, we wouldn't be stuck in limbo, and we wouldn't be held up by these validators that clearly benefit from a system that is not doing very well. If you look at any kind of marketing team that has one simple purpose, and that is to make their own layer 2 project look good and the layer 1 chain look bad, to make the L2 look like a better option, then that is what they are going to do. And if they can hold up, if they can hinder and keep us in limbo and not moving, well, it's very detrimental to the USTC coin, as you guys are seeing. Although the delistings are just on Binance right now, that could be rolling out in many different places. And again, we could just simply see a mass exodus. And who benefits most from this? Well, it's going to be a layer 2 chain. It's going to be the validators that actually shut down these proposals, because the most interesting thing is the validator actually coming in and voting no at the last minute is a validator that has a layer 2 project called, I think it's Weso, WESO. It has a coin. It's a system that's designed to act as a siphon, and we've seen this many times before, and that's why I don't really attach myself to any of these projects that come in with a new project, a new idea, but again, it's not really utilizing the layer 1 coin. We're not like Solana. Our chain doesn't have that beneficial ecosystem that is huge, it's very broad, and there's room for expansion. We are at point critical here. We are now in a stage where LUNC really needs the TLC that it deserves, and more of these siphons that come on board, yeah, it's going to have a drastic effect. As we can see here, LUNC Live, which is Mr. Diamond Hands, also responsible for WESO World, has been coming in and voting no on both of those proposals to try to burn or freeze the LFG assets. And again, this has now left our entire ecosystem in a very, very, very precarious state. The fact that there's no forward movement really shows to all of the CEXs that we're not even sure of what we want to do ourselves. There's a lot of discourse, it's not looking very positive, and overall it's simply not going to be helping our case at this point. So when we go and we look at the freezing, like I said, of the LFG assets as well, we can see once again that if I can get the mouse to play ball here, LUNC Live once again responsible, Mr. Diamond Hands, Wezo World, coming in and slapping a no vote down at the last second. This is actually quite an interesting marketing strategy because they've been able to come in at the end, play cloak and daggers, work in the dark, work in the shadows, act very deviously to shut down two of the most critical proposals probably in the history of the Terra Classic ecosystem since the crash. And what this is actually allowing them to do marketing wise is show that they've got a positive product, and Terra Classic, LUNC, USTC is something that you should start to maybe move away from, not be as interested in the layer 1 chain and moving on to their layer 2 system being Wezo World. Again, it's very beneficial for a layer 2 product like this, as you've seen with many products before this, for the layer 1 chain to look bad, because again, it's going to drive more money towards them. They're going to be able to self-stake more LUNC, which is going to give them more voting power in the end. You've seen what happens with a tyrant like Allnodes when they start to gain devious amounts of money. They can actually go ahead and create multiple nodes. This then becomes a situation where our entire ecosystem becomes led by unhinged people that have one simple goal: create a layer 2 coin and siphon off from the L1 chain. Many products on our chain are working with LUNC, but again, there's many of these siphon attempts that are going to lead us down a very, very dark path. And my warning to everybody at this moment in time is really wake up and look at what's going on. It's quite obvious why they've shut down these proposals, why they did it at the last minute, why it was very devious, and that is actually beneficial for them. Anybody who's acting like this isn't acting for the benefit of the blockchain. We've seen many times with validators like Jesus is Lord running 2 validators and voting no on absolutely everything, ensuring that he himself can voice his concerns whilst everybody else is wrong, which leads to him getting more delegates. And because he votes no on everything, everybody gets upset about it, so you talk about it more. And again, it leads to more of the people out there that are interested in the religious side of crypto finding Jesus is Lord. So we're in a very peculiar situation, again, with people who are just trying to keep the chain in limbo. They're trying to stop us from moving forward. And something that has really piqued my interest is this Medium article from Igor. It's an emergency proposal which is aiming to transform USTC into a meme coin. And I just think to myself, this thing's going to be absolutely hindered. It's going to be hit with many different obstacles. Validators are probably going to try to shut it down, because again, this could lead us into a very, very big burn with the LFG reserve assets, with Binance. And again, this isn't beneficial for all of these different validators that have got L2 projects that are actively working to keep the chain in limbo. It's a very, very scary situation. I think this is one of the best things that we could do at this point, because we declassify USTC as an algorithmic stable coin, period. We turn it into a meme coin, and we turn it into a joke, and we stick by that SEC staff statement put out that a meme coin must remain a meme coin. We rebalance the delegation system, the reward system, and we maybe, just maybe, get rid of USTC entirely from the Oracle rewards pool. And yeah, we start to pay out more in LUNC, which could push the price up because we've got this singular asset We've got this meme coin asset. It could get interesting, but once again, what scares me is that these validators coming in voting at the end, acting deviously, waiting until that very last minute to completely shut down a proposal in a very illegitimate manner. I'm very positive that we can, as a community, work together to get voting power to where it needs to be. If I wasn't such an honest person, I would honestly spin up another validator at this point and offer you guys the ability to delegate with 2 of our validators, and we could use that validator to propel this chain in a positive direction, because these guys don't want to burn. These guys don't want to see USTC probably transferred into a meme coin. They don't want to freeze the LFG asset. They want to lie through their teeth. They want to siphon users into their L2 project. And more importantly, they do not want to see us successful, because that is not beneficial for their layer 2 products. These are all of the different things we really do need to start to think about as a blockchain. Those who speak the loudest are not always the brightest people, and it really does start to scare me. And I'm really starting to come away from X. I'm not really posting on X anymore. I'm just trying to stay away from all of these people that are trying to brainwash everybody into buying into their product. I'm more about creating tools that you, as a broader consensus, as a community, can benefit from equally. I think that's what's most important, and trying to propel the layer 1 chain and trying to find use and utility cases for LUNC. But let me know what you guys think about all of this. And aside that, guys, just stay safe, stay humble, stay aware. I'll catch you in the next one.